Welcome to Retrobot, the YouTube channel where we feed a friendly space robot a diet of pure nostalgia. I'm Clay.
I'm Don.
And look at how happy this guy is. Just look at how happy this guy is. No, not that happy. Not that happy. Bad touch. Bad touch. Yes, we are here to do part 5 of our retrospective series on Transformers Armada. We've got Armada, guys, look! We're talking about Decepticons again, except these are different ones than we talked about before.
Mostly.
So, other bad guys, and that's them, and that's what we're going to be talking about. But before we get to that, let us go to our show and tell segment, Mr. Fillion. And here,
It's over there.
So
It's out of reach.
So wait here.
I blame Retrobot.
Retrobot had nothing to do with it.
Totally
Okay.
did.
So wait here. You can hold this one. There we go. Okay. So I want everybody. This is just 2 of the pieces of artwork that we received from Mr. Fillion. And so just so that you understand, Mr. Fillion likes to say that he cannot draw. He always says, oh, I can't draw, you can draw, I can't draw. But he draws these by hand, pen and ink, like old-fashioned pen and old-fashioned ink, just looking at photo references. That's it. He's not tracing. He's not like doing photoshoppery. He's just looking at stuff, and then he draws these in pencil, and then he inks them, and then he takes photos, and he has reproductions done. Beautiful prints.
Are they squid ink?
Maybe, but yeah, so, these, he sent me a bunch of these, and we had framed. No, absolutely. You know what? You can't be trusted. So thank you, Nathan. These are amazing. And expect to see these in the future in the background, particularly when we do our next studio swap. So here, I will hand these to you carefully. So thank you. That's awesome. Love them. Super exciting. And we're gonna get more frames, and we're gonna have those up. And so that's one of our things. The next thing that we have to show and tell is big tonight. We've got
Who Runs Bada Town?
That's because, the thing. But yes, we've got His Tank Megatron. I received His Tank Megatron, what was it, Saturday last week? Was it Saturday? And I did an impromptu live unboxing online, and hopefully you guys saw it. But if you did not catch it, it is of course still on the site. But Don and I just recorded a short circuits about this guy. So at this point, I know how to transform it. Don't put it in your mouth. Don't put it in your mouth. Don't put it in your mouth. I know about the tow hitch in his belly. He has a tow hitch in his belly. So yeah, that is going to go live this week. So keep your eyes open for the short circuits. It's kind of a long circuit.
And just remember, shift happens in this short circuit.
He's not so hot. He's hot enough to replace you whenever I choose.
I feel like I've lost control of this live stream.
Like you had control.
That's true. The illusion of control. It's the illusion of control. I've lost faith in my illusion of control. So
next show and tell.
So next show and tell, I'm gonna set that over here, out of your reach.
Bring that over. That looks tasty.
So let's do this. We've got so last week we attended the Butler. Let's see, what was the official name? The Saxonburg? Yeah, it was the Saxonburg Toy Show. And it was mostly die-cast cars, like a lot of Matchbox, a lot of like 1/24th scale cars and stuff like that. But there was a table that had some stuff that is my jam. Look what we got. Now this is not perfect. This, for people who don't know what this is, which is probably a lot of you, this is Voltron 2. I know what you're thinking. What? Voltron 2 is the one made up of cars and trucks. No. Voltron 1 was made up of cars and trucks. Voltron 3 was made up of lions. Voltron 2 is made up of 3 separate robots that break into pieces and then parts form to go into form Gladiator Voltron, which is a 6-armed giant. And so as the story goes, they imported all of those toys along with the associated Japanese cartoons.
I don't think the cartoon for this one ever got imported. They imported the toys.
Well, they were supposed to import the cartoons, and then they introduced Lion Voltron first in the cartoons. And then they started integrating the spaceship Voltron, and fan reactions were bad. It was like, oh, wait, what the hell is this? We want more lions. And so since that rollout was received so poorly, they abandoned their plans.
Seeing this thing in stores.
Yes, it was in stores.
I remember going, that looks like a turd. I don't want that.
This is a weird toy, and it has some cool things. It has some things that I wish they had done differently, but it's such a neat part of history. I just be very careful with it. The blue one is broken, and
that was
the
before
plastic.
you got it. Wow. And here you can have it.
This is
till all is more broken.
It has some issues. So we'll just set that right over here. And so here's another thing. This is Monica's thing. Okay, this is something that makes her super, super happy. It is the Nerf Aliens Pulse Rifle.
All right, sweethearts, you heard the man. Pull them out. Come on, let's have them.
So you've got your regular darts here. It's got grenade darts that are fatter darts that you can put into the front and then go like that, and then you can pull the trigger and you squeeze here, that revs up the motor, and then so that's and there's no more ammunition.
Oh,
so
what about this one? How do you launch this one?
There's nothing in there. Do you think I'd hand you that? No, you're not getting these. You don't get those. So here, I will give you that, and I will give you some of these. And so the last part of our show and tell, which just happened, I got this delivered to my house an hour ago, and we immediately had to record a short circuits, which I'm planning to make go live like midnight tonight. I think that's the plan. This is Decepticon Crasher.
Mostly in packaging.
So I am super, super excited to finally get Decepticon Crasher. All of you know I'm a big-time GoBots fan. And Crasher was probably one of the most interesting characters from the GoBots cartoon because it was kind of a crappy cartoon. And it's one of my favorite toys. So to see Transformers finally doing a Crasher homage that is named Crasher and done in her most well-known color scheme, that to me is really, really awesome. So that's exciting. We just don't put that in your mouth. Don't put that in your mouth. That you don't get to put that in your mouth.
My plate is empty.
Well, you know, things happen.
You've got mail.
So Rob asked, mine has some really tight joints. How about yours? And I will say, yeah, it's the side joints. When we post the short circuits, the joints on the sides here were really, really tight. It was actually kind of difficult to
He
get
broke it
these
when
out.
it got out of the box.
I did not break it.
Pieces were coming off.
No, I did not break anything. But
It's not his toy.
but yeah,
He doesn't break it.
she does have some tight joints. I like the tight joints. She feels sturdy. So, but yeah, all of her joints are pretty tight. And I think now that I've transformed her once and put her into different poses, it's a little bit better. But that first transform was a little bit rough. So yeah. Thank you, Rob. Now we both have Crasher, and that's important. So I got Crasher. I'm just gonna set Crasher right over here. There we go. So, I'm here. You're here. Retrobot is here. Retrobot. What did you do with Retrobot?
Nothing.
I do not trust. You are an unreliable narrator.
You have trust issues.
He
have-
is
you
an
have trust
unreliable
issues.
narrator. You know what? Can we see the nanny cam? Let's just go to the nanny cam and we'll find out. Retrobot, hey buddy, what you doing? Where are you? Oh, okay. Playing video games again. Oh yeah, Castlevania. I was playing this last week or 2 weeks ago. Oh, okay. Well, you're doing a little bit better. You disappeared. Wait a minute. That's not how you. What the? You little bastard! Oh my gosh!
He's teaching his replacement all the tricks.
You know.
See Omnibot there.
You're,
That's right. Teach your replacement what to do.
Retro
replacement.
Okay, you just. What is this? What are you doing?
He's called.
How? I can't do that. You're a big retro cheater. That's what you are, Retrobot. He's a retro cheater. That's little bastard. So that's great. Thanks, Retrobot, pal. You know what? I'm letting Dawn visit with you next time.
It'll be a blast.
Yeah, you hear that? That was a thinly veiled threat.
No.
So also, this is an exciting time to be collecting toys. We have the Too Groovy show. It's a relatively small toy show that happens here in the Pittsburgh area at John the Baptist Cathedral, 210 Green Tree Road in Munhall, PA. It is tomorrow's November 5th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., $5 admission. Too Groovy. There was a retro toy store in the South Side. It was South Side, right? Yeah, on Carson Street, that called the Groovy Store. And it was great. And unfortunately, it's not there anymore. And then and this show is kind of in loving homage to the Groovy Store. So it is the Too Groovy show.
You disgust me.
You know, I made you some chicken nuggets before the show. I feel like this is unnecessary. Oh.
Oh, hell no.
Well, I guess
take off.
this
Decide for more, but it's the only way to be sure.
it's the only way to be sure. This is the way. So
This is the way.
this is the way. Well, I feel like you need to wash that down with something like my dignity. So let's toast everyone in the chat. A toast to Dawn, because somehow he made it in the chat before everyone else, and he's here. But a toast to Dawn. Rob is at Yo Mama Con. No, YomaCon. YumaCon.
I missed that one. We're talking how you're gonna reset. It's Yo Mama Con!
Yo Mama Con.
Yo Mama Con!
So, a toast to Rob. Do you want to do?
A toast to Thai guy, who is apparently not at Yo Mama Con.
Nice. A toast to Nathan, Connie, Lyric, and Cadence Fillion. Clink. And, you know what? A toast to Omnibot.
The retro replacement.
And a toast to Colleen. But of course, last but never least, the toast with the most, the lovely, the talented, she who, without whom none of this would be possible, the woman who very patient and lovingly put up with it when I decided to record a Short Circuits video only moments before we were supposed to go live, and pour her Coke all over her desk in the process. A toast to Monica!
She looks like some earthly play puppet.
Well, isn't she?
I'm not gonna say that you're wrong, Starscream. And yeah, there. You know what, internet? You can just do with that what you will. There we go. But anyway, so we are actually here to talk about Transformers Armada, and we do have a Retrobot logo. No, we have Transformers Armada, guys, right here. And this is, so these are our second stringer Decepticons. Now, I know we've got Galvatron here. He's not a second stringer, but he's also not really, I'm just going to say that Galvatron isn't really a distinctive part, because even after he turns to Galvatron and says, I'm
Galvatron to you.
that lasts for like an episode, and then they're back to calling him Megatron.
Yeah, it's not well defined.
Look, Thundercracker.
And then, of course, we have Thundercracker, which we have a Thundercracker, at least most of one. We'll talk about him. Oh, we did talk. Oh, okay. We talked about him with Starscream. Got it.
Look, Thundercracker.
He does. He looks Thundercracker. So let's go ahead, and we're going to start with Galvatron. So
Galvatron to you.
yeah, yes, we heard you the first time.
Just bring them over.
Okay,
It's
here.
fine.
Let me.
Nothing-
No. I'll just set these over.
Are a freak.
Yes, coming from Galvatron. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that's
You know, he doesn't say that lightly. He says that when Squidhead is in his presence. So here we have Galvatron. Of course, Galvatron. This is something that I hated about the Unicron trilogy and this era of Transformers. This was when they decided that they would just commonly repaint whatever Megatron was the Megatron flavor of the season and call him Galvatron. Yeah, it happened during Robots in Disguise. Then they did it during this one. They did it during Energon. This was the thing for over a decade, and it was painful.
Yeah, I mean, Armada's Megatron was definitely pistachio. He said whatever flavor Megatron was this time got recolored.
Wow. Okay.
That Commodore scream.
This is all you internet.
Great. So here he is. I'm actually going to turn down the exposure a little bit. He's so light colored, and I feel like we will be able to see him a little bit better if we just turn things down a little bit. So, of course, this is the redeco of Megatron. He sports some battle damage, so you have some black marks there and there. And what the fudge monkeys? That's
a very much not Galvatron voice now says the power is mine.
The power is mine.
What, did they get Devin Miles to do the voice of Galvatron? Michael.
The power is mine. The power is
I don't know what to do.
I'm a freak.
This is what? Why does it do that? What? Who decided? Like, where did the power is mine? Like, where did that come from? That's
Because minicons give you power, so he's got clench,
yeah.
and nothing says he's got the power is his like clench.
So, yeah, they renamed his, so this used to be Leader 1. It's now named Clench, which is, I guess, what he's doing when he's on the toilet and he suddenly has to talk in that voice. It's like, and then he sits down. The power is mine. I don't know. I'm mystified and a little bit disturbed. That's great. So here he is in his tank mode. And now what I will say is that regardless of what color it is, this is a cool toy. And I don't object to the color scheme itself. It's purple, it's light gray. It got gold bits. I mean, it actually looks really good. It's cool. It's cool. It's a cool toy. It does have, it's exactly the same as Megatron, which means that it's got a gaping chasm in the back end, in the front end. It's got just about not quite the most severe case of visible head syndrome, but because you just can't take that title away from Energon Ironhide, but pretty close. They try to excuse it by saying, well, this is like minicon capture claws, so he can capture claws in between his tank treads.
Or catch Hot Rod when he's in robot mode. He just
that was a thing.
Or not, Hot Shot.
Yeah, and they got real long.
They did.
And he was just standing there, probably wanting to say, "That's Galvatron to you," and they were like across the screen, just because the animators didn't want to actually draw them interacting. It's easier to take an existing image of him just standing there and draw antlers going to Hot Shot. Now,
I'd like you, pussycat. Yes.
who's
Well,
and who's the freak now?
I did nothing. I'm letting you know, internet. I did nothing to encourage this. You have to believe me.
Scripted it all
I
ahead of time.
didn't script any of this.
He forces us to do this. Help us. I only eat this stuff because he makes me.
Oh, the idea that anybody can make you do anything, now that is laughable. This is bad comedy.
See, that wasn't in the script. That's why the sound effect didn't come up.
So yeah, let's take a look at the tank mode here, because we do have like cool features. We've got stuff. So we've got the Minicon ports that come out here. Are we doing this? Is this happening now? Okay, wait here. He's got this Minicon has his Minicon port on the back of his head, so we'll put that there. And this one has his Minicon port on his spare tire, so we'll put that right there. And then this one has a port right. Oh, that's in the neither regions. We won't talk a whole lot about that. We don't talk about the Minicon port in his neither regions. And then he's got
Minicon Port Club.
He's got a Minicon port over here. So we've got a Minicon there.
Oh, there's the rest of his arm.
There we go.
Wondering where the arm went for that one.
They have issues. And then we've got this thing here, and it's got a Minicon port under there. And then, we can put a Minicon port here. And we've got a Minicon port here. We'll put a Minicon port there. We got Minicon ports here. And we've got, if we use this Minicon port, then, he's got a Minicon capture thing, but you know what, this Minicon is kind of making that not work. So, we'll put this one on top of here, and we have used all the Minicons that we've got more. Okay, we've got more, so we'll just attach another Minicon over here, and, we can use this Minicon.
And speaking of Minicon ports, Angry Viking is here.
Whoa, Angry Viking! A toast to Angry Viking! Welcome, sir. We're sticking Minicons all over Galvatron. That
the power is his.
Wow. So let's go back over to here. He's got Minicons all over him, and I feel like there's some ports that I haven't even used yet, but yeah, that is Galvatron. He's got a firing missile. So wait here. Let's that's thanks. That's great. That's great.
The power is mine.
There. All right, I did it for you. All right, so we've done this. I'm taking these guys off. We cannot show this toy with this cacophony of little tiny dudes all over him. Although, I've been rewatching the show, and let me tell you, it's a slog. Like it's so hard, and I'm trying. Okay, I'm doing it for you, internet. But one thing that they have not done, and I feel like it's a real missed opportunity, is I have not seen characters like using multiple Minicons at the same time. And that to me is like a no-brainer, because that's fun. And like the idea of having a Megatron toy that is just covered in Minicons. You know, he's got minicon on his shoulder, minicon on his arm, minicons on his legs. Yeah, everywhere you look, there's minicons, and he's like, I am the most powerful creature in the universe. The power is mine. Then you know, that to me, that should happen. And strangely enough, as the show progresses and they're introducing all of these minicons that are being discovered and found and captured / liberated, they get found, and then most of them you don't see again except for in group shots where they're showing all the minicons. And you know, so thank you for that. Where are the batteries? Where are the batteries? Look, what are you doing?
Galvatron to you.
So you know, that's something that they've kind of missed the opportunity for. Now, as a tank, oh my gosh. It just doesn't shut up. It's sort of like an afternoon with Dawn. He just, oh, I'm sorry. Was that out loud? I meant, I meant the power is mine. Anyway.
Are a freak.
Great.
You're welcome.
So it does fire, and I feel like we need to have someone attest. Let's see, where oh yes, okay, so we this was not in the show and tell, but we did get this in the last week out of the junk bin at D&E Collectibles. It's Jumpstarter Jet Mode Spider-Man, who has a cockpit. He's that's so yeah, so we've got Jumpstarter. I don't think that Jumpstarter Spider-Man is going to fall over ever, because he's weighted in his giant clodhopper feet. He turns into turns into that. So he does this, and he kind of looks like Starscream, except with Spider-Man's face.
I guess that makes me the new leader.
And you know, Starscream was definitely known for the location of his cockpit.
His cockpit was on his chest.
Yes. And
This
is not.
That is not his chest. I do not want to ride in this jet. I am not comfortable occupying this jet. But you know, I do kind of want to see if it works.
You're not comfortable jumping in that cockpit and taking it up a mile high?
Wow.
You're no breakdown. Though I must confess, I have always admired your lustrous finish.
You know, it used to be such a nice live stream, such an innocent live stream. Do you remember? I don't know. 2021. So, all right. So I'm gonna change the view here. We're gonna see if we have enough table space to make this work. So there we go. And come on! Let's stop it. All right. So we'll make a little bit more. This is going to be a great shot if it works. Wow. This is not worth the time that I'm investing into it. Ah!
Oh, wonderful.
This is working great. This is so worth it. Okay, well, anyway, it does that. All right, so let's put jet mode Spider-Man here, and we'll put. Shut up, Galvatron. Honestly. So here we go, right in the cockpit. Yeah, Spider-Man takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Let's try with these. Wait here. There. Okay. So there's so there. We've succeeded at something. My only regret is that we didn't have the grenade dart, but all right. So yeah, Megatron has firing missiles that do fire, and they fire nicely. Let's see. Let's put that back in there, and put that back in there, and we'll retract that and put that in there, and you know, he's got a turret that won't shut up, and it rotates. Oh, shut up! This is terrible. This is. And of course he's got his Minicon capture thing here, like, you know, the Minicon drives up. Oh, look, I'm just gonna pull into this innocent-looking car ramp here, and then, oh my God, it's got me, and he says that. Or he's got this. Shut up! Oh my gosh. We've got this thing here, and he could be like, oh boy, I'm glad to be off of that innocent looking ramp. I'll just drive up here, and then it's like nom nom nom. No, okay, it's not nomming. It's supposed to nom 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 nom. And of course it is. The power is no. Yeah, the camera's not even on you.
Like the audience doesn't know what's happening.
So, boy, he's got some weird schmutz on him. I don't know what that is.
Not my fault.
It might be your fault. It looks like Don Schmutz. It's Don Schmutz. That.
You are a freak.
You know. All right. So anyway, no, we're not doing that. He turns into a robot because that's his job, to turn into a robot. So let's turn him into a robot, and I guess I'll show this on the other camera. We got to get past this guy. Oh my gosh, we need to get past this guy. So you pull the legs out like this, and you can flip up the feet there, and then you can flip back the heels there, and then you can straighten the legs, and here, of course it is. Of course it is. You're gonna pivot at the waist. We'll bring up the camera, and then we're going to open the little panel here to reveal a robot arm, and then we'll close the little door, do the same thing on the other side, open up the little door, reveal the robot arm, grab it by the thumb, and last but not least, you need to just get rid of the little plate that covers his face. And see, then you've got the turret behind him, which is not going to shut up. And, you know, you can do like an over-the-back thing, but he also does this, which is actually pretty cool. You know, he now has a cannon right at his midsection where he can just blow guys away and be like, pow, pow, pow. And what are you trying to do?
Now we need to. This Minicon port right here. Got there.
What? I don't know what you're doing. Oh, we're doing this. Is this?
And then now he's got his shiv, and look, you know.
Okay, we've got. Yes, he does have minicon ports there, and he has minicon ports there, and he has minicon ports there, and don't forget the shoulders.
Oh.
Yeah, there's the shoulders, and the other shoulder. But wait, there's more.
But there's more.
Because we've got those, and we've got this thing. So.
I just, it's, hey, he's kind of like doing Menasor now, I mean,
he does he is kind of doing Menasor, actually.
I don't think we got enough minicons.
Yeah, you can steal
Well,
Wheeljack's minicon.
Yeah.
Put it under there.
Well, we need some over here.
And we've got run over. So yeah, we'll put him over there. And technically, the rider on Sideways is 2 minicons.
Well, yeah, I figured you didn't want to really disassemble.
No.
I mean, come on.
You've got mail.
So,
The gun barrel placement is reminiscent of the barrel that ends up in G1 Megatron. Or G1 Egatron.
So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about. Wait here first. I have to put this guy here. So we have that there, and then we'll put this here. Rob S said that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't say that Rob S said it, but.
So yeah, so what Rob is talking about is that in G1 Megatron, the gun barrel that you often see drawn going up his back in the toy is most comfortably put underneath his arm, pointing forward. And you did get to see that in one episode of the Generation 1 cartoon. It was the one where Megatron stole all of the Decepticons' powers to fight Prime, and at one point you see him, like, he fires at Prime, and then he jumps back, and he holds up his arm, and his gun barrel swings around underneath him, and then... And
that was also the episode where you're supposed to see Megatron turn into a jet plane.
Oh yeah.
The audio exists, but the video it ran too long.
That's a shame. Because you know what, everybody would have wanted that toy, but oh well. Like a Seeker version of Megatron, I would buy a Seeker version of Megatron.
And the Autobots are still like, when could he do that? I'm like, that seems sauce.
Just a little bit. A little bit. But yeah, so here is Galvatron with all
the power is his.
The power is his. But this is cool. Like, it's ridiculous, but it's cool. Like I especially like where these guys are in vehicle mode and they're just kind of sticking on his arms and his legs. Some of these guys are a little bit more awkward than others, but most of them actually fit on in ways that I could totally see this concept of a character that is powered up by all these smaller characters just sticking to him.
And I like the fact he powered up. So he's got this big cannon. Now my super special. This tiny shiv. This tiny shiv.
I like that they gave him a shiv.
I like they gave him a shiv.
Like that's just, cool. That's cool. And you know what? It also retracts.
It retracts.
Like, it's a cool play gimmick. It's terrible. Like, it's prison yard Megatron, but I mean, he comes with his own shiv. You know what? The only thing that would make it better is if you could tell that on the other end of it, it was a toothbrush. That would be perfect. So yeah, that is Galvatron. He is from...
I like you, pussycat. Now come here or I shiv you.
No, that we do not condone violence on this channel.
Says Wheelie.
So let me give you some mini cons. You can probably put his arm on.
I probably could, but it's not necessary.
You're not gonna. That's not in your job description. All right. So many mini cons.
I mean, you're lucky I'm putting the guys back with their other Minicrons.
And so what year was Galvatron? Let me see. That was 2003. So 2003 Galvatron. And, you know, what I will say for their tendency to recolor Megatron and Optimus Prime and then say that they're somebody else, at least they didn't, like, start calling Optimus Prime Rodimus Prime. He would just be, like, Power Links Optimus Prime or Gold Standard Optimus Prime or Optimus Prime 2003 Deluxe Pro Edition. I don't know. But the upside with the tendency for them to repaint these guys is if you missed out on the toy when it first came out and it was a cool toy, you had another opportunity to get it. That's not so bad. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with this deco. Like, it's actually a really cool look for him. I like it. It just the whole, okay, he's going to change his name to Galvatron because he got a new paint job. And the implementation in the show was always in Robots in Disguise, of course, the Autobot brothers got power-up decos, and they were just that. They were a power-up deco. So you had the original versions, and then you had them in their crazy colors that meant that they were faster and stronger and whatever. And it was just an opportunity.
They're the Trickster?
Sure, they're the Trickster. What are you doing?
I'm trying to put him back together, and he doesn't hold together very well.
Well, that's why I added those two little pegs so that you could do that. And I'll show that when we get to him.
Well, I figured you'd want him back on the bike.
I do. So I'm not criticizing you.
You are totally criticizing.
I'm not criticizing
you. Are criticizing me.
I love you. You are like a brother, except better because I choose to be with you, not just stuck with you. No!
This is the way.
Bad touch!
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
So that was Galvatron. Oh, did we show Clench real quick? Clench. This is Clench. It's Leader 1, except it's called Clench for whatever reason. He doesn't clench anything that we know of.
And, you know, speaking of clenching,
Osaka Jack is here! You know, sometimes you just arrive at the wrong time. I'm sorry. A toast to Osaka Jack. And he has nothing to do with Clench. Ignore that. Ignore that. So, a toast to Osaka Jack. Welcome, Osaka Jack. All right, so there we go. That is.
The power is mine.
You just wanted him to say that again.
maybe.
So, all right. So next on our agenda, we have an agenda. I know because there are slides here. We got a computer screen with slides. Monica made slides, and we're looking at the slides, and I'm saying slides over and over again so that I have time to get. Thank you for that. I'm trying to get sideways to ride. There we go. Thank you for that.
Call me Nannerpuss. And guess what? I love paint.
No! There's a lot that I have to watch out for during these live streams, just so that you know. Let's go ahead and change the camera view.
I
So
like that Rob says that's a messed up segue. As if segues are not messed up. when I'm around.
We really do have the worst segues sometimes. So here we have Sideways, and Sideways is a cool toy. It's got some issues, at least in terms of comparing it to more modern Transformers, but it's got some cool gimmicks happening here. And so we've got Sideways, who technically is the motorcycle, but he's got this double headmaster feature. And in the show, they really treated it almost like the rider was just a double, like a triple changer or double changer. He had two different head modes, but they never really showed him as two individual different riders. At least I don't remember ever seeing them as two different riders. It was always just one, and then every now and then one head would pop off, and then you'd see it transformations, and then it would turn into a different head, and his insignia would change. But so we've got Sideways, who is the motorcycle, and then we've got his rider that is, I don't know what to call the combined form of the rider. It doesn't really have a name. It's the gray guy is Crosswise and the black guy is Rook. So I guess he's Crook. Sure, you know what? That's as good as anything.
Cross Rook?
Cross Rook.
Rookwise?
RookWise. I kind of like Crook.
Crosswise.
Crosswalk. His name is Crosswalk. So you've got a motorcycle mode. Motorcycles are cool. Motorcycle Transformers are cool because one thing that we don't get a lot of with Transformers is the ability for other characters to ride the vehicle modes. You get a little bit of that with Headmasters, and then you get your motorcycle bots, and you always try to find which other Transformers can ride on the motorcycle bots. It's just what you do when you have motorcycle Transformers. So for Crosswise, whatever, Sideways, Crosswalk, Walkwise,
Crotch Rocket,
Crotch Rocket, Crook Rocket, for Sideways to come with a pair of Minicon characters that actually combine into a not horrible little dude, that's pretty cool. So I'm going to start by pulling off the little dude, and we'll just take a look at Crosswalk here. So here's the little dude. Now, this is a case of big ambitions and limited resources, because like I like this little figure. It's got lots of articulation. There's ball joints at the shoulder. The elbow has a couple different joints. So the arm moves in a lot of ways. They kind of have a hook hand, and you can see that they molded in some fingers.
Rob S. mentioned that he's just described as rider in English, but not in the actual name, but in Japanese, or in Japan, the combined Minicons were named Mirror.
Oh, okay. So he's Mirror. Let's call him Mirror. Sure. All right. So we have Mirror here. We finally have a name for him. Thank you. Wait, we should toast him. Wait here. We got valuable information. So a toast to Rob S. Thank you, Rob, for always telling us the stuff that we need to know. Toast to Rob S. And that's when I noticed my drinking problem. All right, so So yeah, we've got Mirror, the combined form of two Minicons, and as I was pointing out, he's actually pretty well articulated for a combined Minicon dude, and his proportions aren't bad either. He's got, you know, a husky chest, he's got arms, he's got legs that move around, he's got knee joints, like very well articulated knee joints. Now, I will say that on his own, this guy does not stay together well. He, you know, they kind of have like a head going in here, and that's really the friction is supposed to hold them. That don't work. So way back in the day, probably about 2003 actually, so 20 years ago, I added these two little plastic pins because there's already a couple holes in the back of Rook. And so when this folds up against his back, that kind of helps to hold everything together. That is what I did to improve that. And yeah, I kind of feel like that they should have just done that with the actual toy. But yeah, so that is Mirror. We got Mirror, and let's just pull them apart so that we can take a look at Rook. So you pull the guy apart, you pull the legs down, and then you rotate the claw hands so that the kind of the backs of the hands become feet, and then we've got you make sure that you push up in his nether regions to get a tiny Minicon head to show. And here, we'll rotate the legs around, and there we go. Wait, there, here. So he is. Oh wait, here, probably better to do it this way. There, that way he has a little bit more human articulation because I'm a human and I'm more comfortable with that. So there you go. Now I will say that this is an awkward looking little dude. It is an awkward looking little dude. His arms are really tiny and his legs are pretty big and spindly. But you know, you've got some decent articulation here. You know, you've got a lot of posability on the legs. He's not significantly worse than any other Minicon. You know, when you're doing guys that are this small, then you know, you kind of accept a certain amount of weirdness in their forms. So, you know, Rook is decent. I have no problems with Rook. He's a little bit awkward in his mode, but which is why I very seldom have him transformed like that. And of course, he can also ride sideways on his own. So you can put him in here, and they have a little notch here on the seat so that you can put the Minicons, and there's actually two notches, so they can ride both at the same time, but even separate, which again, really cool play feature. That is cool. It is fun. So we can put him on sideways, and then you have crosswise, and crosswise is going to be like this. Crosswise, his proportions are a little bit better. Now, the little pegs that I gave him make him look like he has nipples. So, you know, that's the downside.
Very saggy boobs. I mean, those are
very
low for nipples.
They're kind of low, but he's a robot. He can have his nipples wherever he wants. So
I like that he can have his nipples wherever he wants.
Well, what do you mean? I have nipples, and I'm a
true.
he.
That's true.
Do you not have nipples?
Maybe.
Do we need to? No, we're not showing nipples. We're not doing a nipple comparison here. So you know, like the robot mode here, actually, at least from the front, the proportions look better. Of course, from the back, he's got legs going all the way up to his shoulders. But you know, again, it's a mini con. It's a little dude, and of course, once again, they did make it so that he could sit on here and ride sideways. You have to kind of play with things a little bit. But here, let's spread the legs out and put him on here, and there he goes. And so, you can have both of these guys. Come on, yeah, there we go. So you can have both of these guys riding on sideways at the same time. They can be in either position. That's already pretty cool. That's what I'm gonna say is really cool about this toy, is that we haven't even gotten into the meat of the Transformer, and we've got two little rider characters that are both pretty well articulated that can merge to form a larger rider character that can also ride the motorcycle. Like, that to me is all pretty fun.
Yeah.
And you just earned your cheeseburger. So
that's a horrible thing to do to burger. Put cheese on it.
Okay, you earned your hamburger. So yeah, this is already a pretty fun toy, and we haven't even gotten very far into him. So let me set aside Rook and Crosswise and get to Sideways. So of course, Sideways, he's a good-looking motorcycle. Like this is a good-looking motorcycle. We've seen a number of motorcycles in the Transformers universe, and some of them work better than others, and I'd say that Sidewise actually works pretty well in his motorcycle mode. He doesn't have obvious robot arms sticking out of the back, or obvious robot head that is behind the wheel or under the seat or anything.
Obvious robot hands holding on to the wheel.
Sometimes there is some of that, but sometimes that's really, really cool if you're a GoBot. Very, very cool, yeah. So Don and I might disagree about the coolness of GoBots, but I digress. So we need to turn him into a robot because that is his job. And so the first thing that we can do is we can pull the arms out from the underside and then pull the arms away from the side of the motorcycle. And then we're going to take the legs. So the legs are going to go up like this. And that is going to, let's go ahead and move the arms up a little bit out of the way, and then we can take the whole motorcycle apparatus here and we can fold both of these up like that, so just behind him, and then we're going to separate the legs, there we go, right at the seat, and we're going to pull these down like this and then fold them in, and that's going to give us some robot feetage, and we'll make them longer because that's important. Actually, wait a minute. No. This is what you do. You fold them down underneath, and then you slide them in. I had forgotten for a moment, but there we go.
You can almost see them on camera.
I can almost see them on camera. It's hard sometimes. So here, we're going to fold this one down, and then I'll back up a little bit so that you can kind of see. This is a little bit of a futzy thing, but you're going to slide it in, and then that gives you your robot feet. And then we rotate the upper portion around here. So wait here, let's get the arms out of the way here. And then we have the body here, and it does a thing. I'm trying to remember the thing it does, but
I think it breaks.
It lifts up here because there's a little nub right there. And then this is going to rotate around. And then it's going to go down against his chest. So here's the neat thing about Sideways. Well, I guess I should finish transforming him. Let's lock the arms up around the body. So we'll put the shoulders up against the side here. And there we go. And ideally, if you do it right, you should be able to get these little pegs to go right into the recesses there and the recess there. There we go. Okay, so we've got that, and then we're going to rotate the arms around. And do they extend? Do they extend? They don't extend. They just rotate around. So there we go. So we've got a robot body. And let's go ahead and raise the camera just a little bit. And, you know, he's not one for a lot of articulation. He's, yeah, his legs don't bend at the knees. The legs themselves have pretty good motion at the hips. The arms can move up and down and out, so that's pretty good. But there's not really any elbows unless you kind of imagine that the wrist is an elbow. So there's not that. But he does have this headmaster feature, which allows you to plug in either one of the two mini-cons as a head. And so let's go ahead and do that. Let me... Now, I will say that the way that they show the heads in the cartoon is pretty bad. I'm trying to do it here. Let's put him off to the side here, and there's a little thing here. There's a little thing. Spudger. I need the spudger. Spudger. No, give me the spudger. Don't stop fighting me. Gosh. Okay, so we need to kind of push that up. There's supposed to be a push up. It's supposed to push. Well. Okay.
Oh, that's gone.
That went somewhere behind me. I have no idea where that went.
It is under your chair.
It is under my chair.
I'll get it. Just give me a second to...
Oh, wait. Monica is trying to get it.
It's literally... Did you see it?
You got it? Okay. So, all right. So, here is...
Till all are broken.
It's not broken.
Till all are broken.
It's not broken.
Till all are broken.
It's not broken.
Till all are broken.
So there. That is his little head crest thing, and so that's that reveals the eyes.
And speaking of head crest things, Chinovo is here.
Whoa, Chinovo! A toast to Chinovo. Oh.
Is that when you noticed you had your toasting problem?
That is, that's when I discovered that I had a drinking problem. All right. So that does not want to stay in now. We'll have to.
Broken.
Shut up! It's not broken. Your face is broken. Your brain is broken.
You know that this is not on the stream at the moment.
You know, just let me do this, all right? So you've got the head, and they always had the legs just kind of sticking out above his head, and then
as like
horns, and then you'd plug it in like that, and it was come on, plug in.
Head on.
So it's supposed. Oh wait. Do his arms plug in too? So his arms plug in, and then it's going to reveal a Decepticon symbol. And so you didn't know whose side Sideways was on. He was a Decepticon. Now, I hate that. I hate the legs just sticking out behind his head. And there's no reason for it. He can absolutely do the Gen 1 Headmaster type thing where you just fold the legs behind the head, and they're still very obvious robot legs. Like there's not a whole lot that you can do to disguise them.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's I like that idea. Yeah.
What?
Someone said bunny ears. I mean, come on. Look at that.
That's
That doesn't look disturbing at all. Like someone
wait,
is literally smashed. Face.
There we go. You know.
Head on.
So
Literally like a head-on collision into the top of this robot.
So that is bunny ears mode, and you know I think it's kind of funny, and I think it's kind of sad. The
Angry Viking goes, well, they represent horns because, spoiler, he's an agent in Unicron.
Sure, but see, Unicron has cool-looking horns. This guy has dumb-looking horns, and that's where I just But by the way, did you catch my Donnie Darko reference? Yeah, I there was, because you did the bunny mode.
Oh yeah.
So thank you. So anyway, so that's the Decepticon head, but you can take that out, and you can also put on the other guy, and so we'll do this. Let's see, there we'll slide. See, that one slid up. All right. And we'll do it as horns, because that's
The Decepticon symbol is still visible.
we'll get there.
I just thought it would have changed back.
I would have thought it would have changed back too, but
Maybe
it's like a
because
40-year-old toy. So
It's
Or
not
20
40 years old.
okay, I'm most of my toys are 40 years old. This one's 20 years old. But so here we go. We'll do this, and you plug in.
Till all are broken.
It's not broken.
Till all are broken.
It's not broken.
Till all are broken.
Oh yeah, they go in this one. So there we go. Oh, wait, come on, go in there. Go in there. Yeah, there. And see, now he's an Autobot. See, he's got, and I've never really understood why the dark head is
The
good
insect?
guy head.
That looks like a big insect head.
So wait here,
Especially with this the
let me turn up the exposure on the camera. That might help.
Is there
a little.
actually a face there, or are those red things its eyes?
Yes, those red things are its eyes. So
Okay,
wait
so
here.
that's like
So there it is.
Oh, okay. They're tiny little red eyes. I was looking at the
Yes.
big red things.
No, those are just decor. And then we've got the evil
Angry
Unicron
Viking goes, it's
horns.
yin and yang.
So yeah, that, and like,
And dark is good and light is bad.
huh?
In yin and yang.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, well then I'll accept that. Like that's a cool gimmick. All right, regardless of how the heads look when they're attached to the guy, and whether it's better to have the legs splayed out like big horns, or whether to try to at least fold them out of the way so that they're not quite as obtrusive. It's a cool feature.
Now,
But here's what gets me about this toy, and what I admire about this toy, is that they also put on just a regular robot head. So in addition to having 2 Minicon characters, he's got a third head. Which is kind of great, because probably the biggest problem with most headmasters is you lose the headmaster guy, and then you have a headless robot that...
see, now, this actually kind of, for me, the fact that it has the third head, kind of ruins what I thought would be a good story aspect for this character. Okay, so without the head, right? You've got, your 2 Minicons, right?
Yes. Your good guy Minicon head.
And these and both of these
And your bad guy.
both of these guys are minions of Unicron.
Okay, that's gonna need some futzing.
All right. So I thought what would be interesting if they had done is this is just a body. This is kind of a disguise.
And these are the agents.
These are the agents because was not in Armada. If I were, didn't Unicron create the Minicons? Wasn't he? I thought he was part of the reason was they were the people looking for the power was kind of Unicron's ploy or something. I don't know. And if that were the case, then if these guys were the agents, and the real thing that they wouldn't suspect is this is a robot that's without the Minicons.
It's just a shell.
It's just a shell. These guys are the ones that are running the show, and you wouldn't suspect it.
And
I think that would have been an interesting story. That's not what they did, but I just thought that was a more interesting thing than they would have done.
I think that you're hoping for a lot from a TV show that didn't really succeed in telling much of a story at all. It was rough, but yeah, so despite the fact that that this robot body is not really well articulated and it's a little bit awkward looking and the Minicons are kind of awkward looking, I like him because he's got a lot of play features and once again, of course, because he's got Minicon ports all over him, then you can also add Minicons to power him up if that ever happened, but it really didn't. So yeah, that is Sideways and just sticking guys on there, huh?
Hey, he's got 4 Minicon ports, so
So there you go, Minicons.
I assume the ones on the arms make the missile shoot.
I think. Let's see. Where's Spider-Man? Oh, Spider-Man's over here. Let's find out if we can. So here we go, and I should turn down the exposure. There we go. All right. Oh wait, he has to have a head. There we go. So he's got his head, and then let's see if this does it fire? Well, at his toe, and. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Maybe not. I don't think it's going to do it. It did it, but it didn't really do it. So, yeah, Spider-Man, you're a terrible target.
You've got mail.
So, Perry Viking is here. So, Speaking of Spider-Man being terrible, Perry Viking is here!
One thing I was just thinking about is Sideways may not be a caring kind of guy, but he can wear his heads on his sleeves. Instead of his heart on his sleeves. See? His heads are on his sleeves. That's great. For you, the internet. Osaka Jack says, like a 40-year-old toy, firing the old rocket gets tough for a lot of us at that age. He's not a 40-year-old toy.
Yeah, but the guy firing him is 40 years old. So, a toast to Osaka Jack.
Head on his sleeve.
Wow. That sure is something. All right, so here we have that. So moving on. We have Wheeljack. Wheeljack is kind of a traditional looking Autobot, except that he's not an Autobot. You look really close. He's a Decepticon, and it's because he was tragically left behind by Hotshot in a fire, and then Megatron saved him when Hotshot didn't, and so he swore vengeance and loyalty, vengeance against Hotshot and loyalty to Megatron, and I don't know. But you know what? As toys go, like, I like what they did here. I really like having a molded in Autobot sign and then the slash, and you can see some mechanical bits underneath it. Like, that's cool. That's just cool. And that's where the toy tells a story. The toy is telling us about this character.
Yeah,
in
Galvatron
a very
tells your story.
No, give me that. So yeah, that's kind of a cool thing. He's got his Minicon, which is wind shear, and he transforms into a gull wing supercar resembling a Ferrari F50. His missiles can fit into his hands as weapons, and actually, he kind of needs the Minicon in order to make his transform function. So let's go ahead and do this. You can press down on here, and I believe that's yes, that makes his wings open up. So those are now this. Which was the mask vehicle that did that? Thunderbird or Thunderhawk? I don't know, but so
Matt Trackers.
Yes.
Except it did it the other way. Or did it do it that way?
Yeah, it did it that way, and then wings would extend from the sides here and go out a little bit further.
And Rob says, and now he's Thunderhawk. Thank you, Rob. So he has that, and then there are missiles here. We'll just this is not going to work. This is not gonna do anything, but we're gonna do it anyway. Well. It actually got him to wobble a little. So there's that, and the other one's gone forever. You're actually looking for it. Monica it's between the tables.
Thank you, thank you. Monica gave my wife loves me. She looks for missiles. So he has that, and that's pretty cool. Like, having, anytime that you've got a car that you can have the doors pop up. Now, the only downside is that once you do that, he really, he's like, I'm having to, he doesn't hold together very well once you pop the doors open. So you can kind of leave him on the table and it's fine. But as soon as you pick him up, he's not so fine. So you do that. It's a good car mode. I will say this: it's a really good car mode. He looks good. They didn't do a lot of translucent windows in this line. You got it sometimes, but it was a lot of painted windows. And his colors are green and yellow, and he looks, he doesn't look particularly evil, but at the same time, he doesn't look particularly nice either. So, which kind of fits the character of a former Autobot who is now signed on with the Decepticons. But you can see that they painted in the tail lights. He's got a couple Minicon ports on the back here. He's got the yellow plastic here, the silver windows, and I do especially like this detail. So here, wait, let me zoom in on that because it's actually pretty kick-ass cool. Like, look at that! That's neat! And then they have the little tiny Decepticon there, Decepticon symbol there. And can the camera focus in on it? So yeah, there we go. See, like that's neat. That's just a cool thing, and it's fun. Now, you kind of need the Minicon to transform him. So you pop the Minicon on, and you go like that. And now transforming him is easy. You've got the arms that are on the underside, and they're going to pull out like this. And then you've got the body that's here, and the legs that are down here, and you're going to separate these somehow. Let's see here. You separate those like that, and then lock them in. And then the hood comes down, and a very classic auto body looking transform with the hood that becomes the chest. Let's move the camera up so that you can see what's going on. There we go. And then you've got the backpack, which can slide down here against his back, and now he has wings, and you kind of have to get the arms out there. So he looks very auto body, and oh wait, here we have feet too. There are feet. Don't forget the feet. So he's got feet down here, and he's got heels. So there, we'll pull out the heels. So there we go. Now, unfortunately, like I want him to have hip joints. Like his legs, they go like this, and it seems like they should come out away, apart, so he can have a nice A stance, but he does not. His shoulder joints are very weirdly jointed. It's like this is a character that very obviously could be done as a modern character with very, very few aesthetic changes and made fully posable, but that was not a priority for this line.
I think it's interesting in that you look at... Okay, so...
Here, you want to hold
so
the thing?
Okay, so we've got, the back that is the legs, front that is the chest, even with the head sculpt. This says sideways to me. It looks like a slightly update. The doors are now...
You mean a side swipe?
Side swipe, yeah.
Yeah, he's very side swipe.
But they called him Wheeljack.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there was a lot of naming that purely came out of, we're about to lose this copyright.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like in this line they cared about making things look like the G1, but I'm like, no. You literally just slightly updated
side swipe. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, he is straight up side swipe. The name Wheeljack has absolutely nothing to do with
the chest, the legs, the head,
Yeah, it's side swipe, but they named him Wheeljack, and they did not care. And I don't know that they didn't also, wouldn't they have also been losing the copyright to Sideswipe by that point, or had they used it on maybe one of the Robots in Disguise, GoBots or something by that time? Maybe.
Sideswipe was wasn't he part of the Autobot brothers? Mirage, Brawn, and
X-Brawn and Sideburn.
Sideburn. So they might have already lost it, which is why it was Sideburn.
Maybe, but definitely he does look very.
Now Rob
sideswipe.
mentions that mold got used for Sideswipe via BotCon's Shattered Glass line in 2008.
Ah, okay. Well, that's not surprising. So let's take a look at him in his robot mode, because his robot mode is pretty interesting. Like you said, it is very, very reminiscent of Gen 1 Sideswipe. And I'm actually going to turn up the exposure just a little bit.
I'm thinking it's being dug for. I hear rustling, and Monica's way away.
Yes, so
she is in the depths of the transformer bin. It's kind of like the money bin, only you can't swim in it, and actually it's plural because there's many of them.
So yeah, you can see here that that there's actually, boy, he's hard to shoot because his dark parts are really dark and his light parts are really light. So there's actually a lot of arm detail that I'm not able to capture with the exposure up, so I'll turn the exposure back down, and you can see the nicely molded in Decepticon symbol. One thing that I will say for the Armada line is that you got a lot of molded in insignias, and that's something that they didn't do a lot of before this. You know, you had those gem things that were like spark chambers that would oftentimes have a faction symbol inside them, but they weren't molded in. They were just a printed symbol.
Here comes something, I'm not sure what it is.
Oh, I know what this is.
I see green, so
this is actually one of my favorite toys from this era. But it's Cybertron, not Armada. So this is not named Wheeljack, but it is Wheeljack. so this, I believe, Downshift. I think that his name was Downshift. So here is Downshift, who sports a black and green color scheme instead of the familiar white and green color scheme, and he's got the Wheeljack side things and a very, very Wheeljack face, and he is a muscle car instead of a race car, but he is very obviously made to look like Wheeljack, but instead his name is Downshift. So
first showed up at Energon according to Angry Viking.
Oh, okay. So he
doesn't have a Cyberplanet key one, does he?
Yes, he does.
That one does?
Yes, he does.
So
he has a Cyberplanet key right there.
Well, it might have been they added it later.
No, this is not a retrofit. So maybe the character showed up in Energon, but the toy was part of Cybertron. But yeah, so that is Downshift. I'm a fan of Downshift. Oh, and okay, so
yeah. So
here, let's show
yeah,
this.
I knew that they had a very Wheeljack looking one that wasn't named Wheeljack.
That is Energon Downshift. Yes. So, and yeah, of course
you look at the head and chest, and you're like,
it's very obviously Wheeljack.
Yeah.
But and that's not a bad one. Yeah, I like I really like the combination feature that they had during the Energon series, but I would say that as just a straight up cool toy goes, I really like, let me see, we're gonna press, I really like this one. Like, I love this one. This is just it's a cool toy. I'm gonna transform him real quick, even though he's not part of this series. I'm gonna show him because I like him and he's fun. So
around part 27 we'll get to him or something.
Yeah, something like that. So,
I mean, because we haven't even gotten the whole way through Armada, and we're at part 5, And this guy's Cybertron, so we'll have to get through Energon first.
Yeah, but the good thing about Cybertron is that as a line, Cybertron was not a very good collection of toys, and I'm not sure that I own all that many of them. So, so here we go. We're going to transform him into his car mode. Go together. There you go. And look at that. Oh my gosh, that is a cool looking car. I mean, that
Feels
is
like
a
the
cool...
car that they decided to use to make Lockdown.
Yeah, a little bit, but yeah, that's just, I love this.
And speaking of looking like Lockdown, Daniel Evans is here.
Oh, a toast to Daniel Evans. Daniel Evans, have you visited the chat before? I'm trying to remember because your name doesn't sound familiar unless it's been a while. But if this is your first time joining the chat, welcome, and I hope that you have a good time.
Maybe his next comment is, man, you're not used to how we do toasts.
We
front and center, there you go. The segue,
welcome.
When you walk in, the segue is whatever's happening. Sometimes it is the ugliest, just...
What did you say about poor Daniel?
I said, speaking of looking like Lockdown.
Oh, well, Lockdown was a cool looking guy. So, yeah, that's... Actually, Lockdown was kind of creepy. But Daniel Evans is not creepy. He's got a presence. Actually, I don't know what Daniel looks like. I haven't met you in real life. But I'm imagining that Daniel Evans has a presence. Like he's like Lockdown was like, ugh, and it's quite possible that Daniel Evans is like, ugh.
Daniel Evans said, the first thing he said was Downshift looks a bit like Trip Up, a guy I really like.
Trip Up. Show me Trip Up. Do we have Trip Up? Let's look up. Oh wow. That boy, and with that engine especially, it does look like Lockdown. But yeah, Downshift.
Well, yeah,
no.
We were talking about
how
how Wheeljack, who was Downshift, reminded us of Lockdown. So
right, and that kind of reminds me of Lockdown also because of the big engine on the front. Now, what line is that from? Is that? I'm guessing that it's probably like a Cyberverse line or something like that. Nope.
No. Cyberverse didn't have any new named characters, really.
Whatever.
I feel like that's
it's Muscle Man.
No.
Oh. So
Micromaster.
Oh, he's a Micromaster. Wow. Okay, so War for Cybertron Earthrise Micromaster, probably based off of a Gen 1 Micromaster. Micromasters, there ended up being so many Micromasters, I lost track.
Well, what's interesting is just recently I got the first episode of Transformers Victory, which is the Japanese show that used a lot of the Micromasters, at least on the Autobot side. And it was just, it's weird. Because you have that's where you have, I forget the two Autobots that are from it. But,
I don't know. You're telling this story.
Rob says Victory also has a theme that slaps. Yeah, I'm like they refer to them as the Powered Masters, and it's like that's where Deathsaurus comes from. That's where Leo Kaiser comes from. But what I thought was just interesting is the fact they have the Decepticon generals who follow Deathsaurus, and they tend, from what I saw, is it tend to be a lot of the Titans and Combiners. It was like Oh, that's Predaking. Oh, they just cut him in half. That one's Devastator. That one's Menasor. That one's Triptychon, who looks, they use the names. And, yeah, the Leo Kaiser, the Breast Masters.
Yes.
Wonderfully named.
Yes.
Always send a boob in first.
Or you're thinking of Zone for the, am I?
Transformers Zone. So...
I
know
nothing
it was
one of those things that
about
I was
this.
trying to remember which one was Victory and which one was Zone. I saw episode 1 on YouTube, and I'm
not even sure where he's going with this. He's now just reading comments. I think he's lost his train of thought.
Yeah, but it was just I was just like, it was just weird to me, and it's how they used those toys that we never saw animation for. Got it. Because
so that's the segue.
Yeah,
got it. Okay.
The mini cons have a whole. They use the bases. I was just like,
yeah. By then, the American show was gone. So anyway, Wheeljack does have a Wheeljack. Yeah, this is Wheeljack. He can use his rockets in his robot mode by tipping it up, and we I'm not even going to bother trying to knock over Spider-Man. It's not going to work. What was that? Oh yeah, I guess he can hold these. So here, let's do this. He can also hold these as bludgeoning weapons. And be like, and try and beat on the camera, but he'll just drop his little thing. So yeah, no, don't, please, no. And something else that is kind of uncanny to me is that they chose to make the knee joint, like it has a knee joint due to transformation, but they chose to make it a floppy joint that has to lock into place. Once again, an obvious opportunity for articulation, and they went out of their way to not make it a functional, playable joint. Just, it was a very different design philosophy during the Armada line that they were really stressing the action gimmicks, the firing weapons, the minicon features and things like that.
I think it interesting that he does not have. He has what, 2 minicon ports, right? That in robot mode, so we can
and one on the back.
Well, but that was I'm like, so we can we can't really power him up like
No, there's not a whole lot of power up opportunities. You kind of hope that there would be something like on the arms, but he really doesn't have a whole lot there.
In the back, it's kind of tough with the wings open.
No, you've got this guy, and this was this guy had a name, Windshear, and we haven't shown him yet. So let me just show him. So there we go. So this is Windshear. He turns into a stealth jet, little tiny stealth jet, because being a little tiny jet isn't stealthy enough. So he's a little tiny stealth jet. And then you can bend the wings back, and you have the legs here that come out like that, and you flip down the little feet, and you have the arms that come out here, and the arms that come out here, and then you just bend the body like this, and that reveals the head, and he pretty much does that. Wait, here, come on, you can do it. Don't fight with me, Windshear. Don't fight with me.
You can kill your brother.
You just work with me.
Fight. Can't see any of it on camera. There's just mostly white and some fists.
So there. Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to get him
to the white board.
He doesn't even like. He's a frustrating little dude. He is a frustrating little dude. Okay, so this has to go down like that. And I feel like it's supposed to tuck up in there, but it sort of doesn't. Like, you know, this, it seems like it's supposed to, but it doesn't wanna. And it's...
Till all are broken.
I'm not gonna break it.
Till all are broken.
I'm not gonna break it. Let me bend this down first, and then bend this. There's two joints there, because his head is like a double jointed thing. And let me put that up like that. There we go. There we go. We got all right. Now we're cooking with gas. There we go. All right. So that is wind shear, and he's actually got a pretty decent little robot mode. You know, once you get him to do it, you know, he's got better articulation than downshift in a lot of ways. Like his arms actually come out away from the body. He's got leg joints, and he's got a very high knee, but he does have a knee, and it functions. And then he's got, yeah, he's a little dude. He's a cool little dude. I like the little dude. So yeah, that is wind shear, and he is cool. That is so very, very happy with wind shear.
He's ready to be a drummer in the band. Although with the mini cons, you can't see much.
That's wow. All right, so moving on. No, stop. No, don't. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay, do it. Okay.
Don't do it. No, I said don't.
You said do it.
I did not. So this is Nemesis Prime, but Daniel Evans says, "Cheers, guys! I love watching Ultra Marcus, Emgo, and other story makers. I hope to make videos like this one day, and you know, you can, as just with like a webcam and software and a lot of patience." A lot of patience. But yes. So anyway, it does not make you the new lead. Totally. That has nothing to do with how leaders are chosen for the Decepticon Starscream.
Totally does.
It really does not.
That's what was happening inside Astro Train. It was not a fight.
What, they're making YouTube videos?
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense.
I'm stupid.
So anyway, Nemesis Prime. We have Nemesis Prime here, and I love Nemesis Prime. I love this toy. As most of you know by now, I love this mold. I love the I love the colors. I love the mold itself, and the whole concept of an evil version of Optimus Prime. Like, I'm all over it. It's very, very cool. And of course, he is just a straight up recolor of Optimus Prime. And this is the smaller version, which is the good one. You know, this, like, the larger version of Optimus Prime has a very cool auto-transforming trailer gimmick, but the toy itself suffers. And the smaller version has better articulation, better proportions. It's just, to me, it's a funner toy. And so to have a Nemesis Prime version of that mold just makes me happy. It makes me happy just to look at this guy. Like, I'm spinning him on a box, and I'm just grinning from ear to ear, coming up with excuses to continue spinning the box because it makes me happy to look at him on screen. The power just... Oh, I should have never let you grab that. I really tried
Keep
not
spinning
to.
it. Yeah, I'll entertain myself.
So that is Nemesis Prime. So of course, Optimus Prime's minicon was called Overrun. And so the minicon that they included with Nemesis Prime is called, get this, wait for it, Run Over. See what they did there? They reversed the words, and it's like it's like running over someone. So he turns into a little jet. He also turns into a gun. You can just take the handle here and put it back like that, and then put the wings up, and then it's a little gun, and it pegs in
Daniel
behind
Evans
him.
said that he just subscribed, and
Oh,
then he picked
awesome.
up the Witwiki Power Suit, the Laser Optimus Prime, and drag strip today, which
Nice.
the Laser Optimus Prime is definitely super cool, and you love drag strip. I think he's a cool toy. I love what they did with Menasor, but I still hate that they just kind of stick on. That's my problem. There are a lot of cool things with that. The Wiki Power Armor is it exists. It was a nice attempt.
There are
worse things out there, but I feel
there are positives and
it's
negatives.
big.
But you know what?
It does come with blast effects. So.
We have check out. We've got reviews of I think all of that stuff.
All of that. Yep.
So please feel free to check out the reviews that we've got of all three of those, and you'll get to hear ad nauseum the goods, the bads, and the uglies in our humble opinions of those. Anyway, a toast to Daniel. Daniel Evans. Everybody, say hi to Daniel Evans, and thank you for subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think they did the same thing with so it says Angry Viking says that Nemesis Prime, he was supposed to have red splash marks, but was removed because it very much implied that he ran over humans or things that didn't wash the blood off him. And I think it was kind of like they had to retint on Demolisher, the mud splats, because they were
he also had some violent looking deco, which I appreciate because I've got a dark sense of humor. But yeah, so anyway, we've got the gun, we've got the jet, and of course he is a minicon, so he can transform into a little robot, and his robot mode is not bad. He's got a chest that is longer than his arms. It seems like that should have been able to come down a little bit lower so that, like flat, but you know what? I'm fine with it. Now, I think that his legs are supposed to go, or his wings are supposed to go back like that. Now, interestingly, this guy, at least the mold for him, reminds me a lot of Leader 1. And the version that came with Optimus Prime was silver and kind of, reminded me of Leader 1. The little jet, the way that he transforms, it just reminds me of that. Yeah, everything about him. Wait, here, hey camera, you look at that, and yeah, he just reminds me of that toy. Of course, they had to be very careful about the terms of buying the rights to GoBots. They could use names but not likenesses, and so I think that's why it was Megatron's minicon that got given the name Leader 1 instead of this guy. Just to be safe, so that, because he doesn't look enough like Leader 1 that I think that there would really be a case, but if you named him Leader 1, then maybe. So yeah, this is Run Over, the copy of Overrun, which I just love that name, but we'll set him aside so that we can look at Nemesis Prime. And I like I said, love this toy. I love the look of this truck. I love the red windows. I love the tan, his muted colors, the super dark blue. He's just cool. He is just cool. And the transformation is pretty simple. You extend the legs, you flip out the feet, you separate the legs, you disengage the grill from the front, you swing it around down to the front like this,
Does
and
Nemesis
then you bring
Prime
that.
have a matrix?
The little version does not. Neither
Oh,
Optimus
that's right.
Prime.
The Optimus Prime didn't have the little matrix
Right.
molded in there.
So the grill goes up there, but it is still like an opening access panel with bits and what seems like a place where a matrix could have gone, but they did not mold that in there. The arms come away from the body like this, and then let's back off with the camera so you can see what's going on. Then we're going to spread the shoulders out, not like this. That is not how he goes. You flip up these bits next to the shoulders, and they're just a little bit. They're a little bit tight. And no, we're not breaking him. We're not breaking him. And then we do that, and you bend at the elbow and slide the sleeves up, and then bring that down against the chest. And that's it. That is him in his robot mode. And I love this robot mode. Like, I love the way it looks. I love the kind of chunky proportions. We can run over back into something else. We'll do a jet, and then we'll put that on his back right there, and that sort of gives him wings, like little wings behind him, which is kind of cool. And then we can give him jiggling arm action. So yeah, he can jiggle his arms. I think that was supposed to be punching action, but to me it's sort of like he's firing his guns. And yeah, there we go. That I can't see to change the there. Okay. Don't break my toy. Last time you did this, you broke a toy.
He was already broken.
All right, so there we go. Let's take a closer look at Nemesis Prime in his robot mode. This is one of the rare Armada toys and molds for an Armada toy that's really well articulated. He's got a shoulder joint that comes out away from the body. He's got full rotation this way. He's got an elbow joint. He's got a pivoting waist. He's got legs that come away from the body. He's got these side panels that actually move out of the way so that he can do not a bad split. He can move his legs forward. He's got a functional knee joint. He's got ball joints at his ankles. So that is really, really cool. He's a great toy and a lot of fun, and one of my favorite molds, if not my favorite, in the entire Armada line.
Punching, or you call firing, just makes me think it's Optimus Prime after he's had too much caffeinated energon. He's just jittery.
You know
He's
what?
Just vibrating.
So really, this guy should be named Red Bull because he gives Prime wings and he makes him kind of spastic. So,
all right. So Daniel Evans mentions that Laser Optimus has two right shoulder plates on the part of the yellow paint. like the left plate was made for the right side. Is that a weird mistake?
So let's take a look. We've got Laser Optimus Prime here, the most recent one. I'm going to take the trailer off. So are you talking, I'm assuming that you're talking about these plates right here. 2 right shoulder plates on the part with the yellow paint. Like the left plate was made for the right side. So just to show you mine, the plates are mirror images of each other. Now, I imagine that you could probably pull them off and flip them over and reverse their positions, but then you'd be seeing the back edge. So if yours...
I don't see how they could...
Here's what it kind of sounds like.
I mean, they can snap off, but...
Okay, I'm going to try and do this without breaking anything.
Well, I mean, you can see the plates. So obviously,
I want to put. Let me just try and turn him into a robot really quickly. That way, I have full access to the hinge because it's buried in there amongst the different parts. So we're going to do some of this, and no, I'm not going to talk my way through it because he's like kind of complicated. I would be talking my way through it if this live stream were actually about him, but since this is just a free extra, then I'm just doing it, and I'm distracting you by talking into the camera while I do it. Really? So, there we go.
It sounds like the way he's describing it, he said that he tried it, but it wouldn't close, so he ground down the corner that was hitting. So that, if a corner was hitting, then that sounds like a factory part miss.
Yeah,
because I'm looking at the way these are designed. If you
put them on backwards, I don't think that it would fit right.
And if you had 2 lefts, and I don't see how it would go together if you put 2 lefts, you put 2 of the same plate on.
So here, let me pull these up. So now I can. Please don't break. Please don't break.
Till all are broken.
Please don't break. Please don't break. Please don't break.
Till all are broken.
Okay, let me try the spudger.
Well, here's the thing: is I don't think you really need to pull it off because you can easily see how they're molded specific.
I want to satisfy my curiosity here.
Okay, well then, if you break your toy, you broke your toy.
There. That was almost there. There we go. Okay, the spudger is.
I understand it just pops off, but sometimes it's not good to be.
I'm not disagreeing. There we go. All right. Yes. Okay. So you look at the way that is molded, and while the hinge would fit on the opposite side.
Yeah, it won't.
So let's do that.
It won't.
When it transforms, it's not going to fit right. Yeah, that is what we are learning, and I'm guessing that this is what this is what you're talking about, having one of them be on like this, and then the other one is actually correctly placed on the other side. Yeah, it just won't
close in vehicle mode, which it won't because it's on wrong.
Because it's on wrong. Because it needs because that hinge goes down towards the back of the piece. You look, this is the front of the piece, this is the back, and the hinge is not centered on that. It actually goes towards the back, and so if this were on backwards, it would not close correctly.
So Monica is recommending that you take photos of the piece and send an email to Hasbro customer service. Clay and Monica have had really good luck getting reimbursed for broken or mistake made toy parts, and
And I would like to thank Dawn for my set of spudgers because it would be very hard for me to do this without my spudger. So thank you.
Yeah. You get these tiny little. Look at this. Just no. Just
No, give me that.
Just a little morsel, just a smidge.
So, yeah, ideally, Prime should have shoulders. So, I like this toy. This is a good Prime. I still wish that these parts moved with the shoulders. You know, like the original, but they don't. It's a minor criticism. I still think that he's a really cool toy. So, anyway, so yeah, Laser Optimus Prime, very cool, very cool. So, all right.
Only took 47 years to get an Optimus Prime figure, and it has to be defective. And it's a really, this is a really good Optimus Prime figure.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, and I mean, these shoulder bits are
kind of important. Because
now, one thing is, these are hand put together by people in Vietnam. So yeah, mistakes happen, and it sucks when you get one, cause and there's no way you'd know, especially this one. You can't see it in the box.
Nope.
To spot, that looks weird.
Right. But
a lot of the figures that are in robot mode, they have the windows, and you could spot defects like that. Except, of course, for the legacy ones that are packed in vehicle modes, which is the way it should be. Even though now it's hiding the defects,
So
till all are messed up.
So that is Nemesis Prime. I can't say enough good about this toy. If you see him on the secondary market and he's at a price that you're willing to pay, then he's just all kinds of awesome. I love this toy, and if you got him, I would hope that you would love him too, because he's awesome. So yeah, and that's actually it. Yeah, we had the 4 bad guys that we wanted to talk about before, and then only one more one more of this series to go before we move on to Energon. And let me tell you, Energon is going to be a cool series because they had a lot
2 whole
of
parts
amazing
divided dedicated to Ironhide. He loves that guy so much.
We're not dedicating 2 parts to Ironhide. We will be bitching about Ironhide through every single part of that series.
One series on why Kicker is the best companion ever in an anime. He loves Kicker.
Were you dropped on your head as a baby?
No, that was you.
You're right, I was. That's a true story. That's not even made up.
No,
that is a
not
true
made up.
story.
That's a true story.
My mother was carrying both me and my sister, going down the steps, started to trip. I was being held on the side near the banister.
No, she had to choose one,
so-
and Clay was
and
the one to be
she-
like, he'll bounce, he's fine.
And so she lets go to grab the railing, and boop, 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 and the rest is history, so they say. So that's it. That is the Decepticon Armada guys that we didn't talk about before. And so if you like this live stream, then please subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so that you know when we're doing other live streams like this one, which last week we did that special impromptu.
The Machiavellic asks, before we leave, what kind of Nemesis do you prefer? Evil clone of Optimus, brainwashed Optimus, alternate personality completely unrelated to the guy, future alternative evil Optimus. And also, apparently, The Machiavellic is here.
Yes, the Machiavellic is here. A toast to the Machiavellic. So, I always like the idea of Nemesis Prime being an evil doppelganger from another dimension. But I guess that's Shattered Glass Optimus Prime's deal.
Well, it could be a different alternate, you know.
And
now
I
you get
guess-
into multiverses, and there can be
Yes,
lots of
well,
them.
you know, Transformers are not afraid of a good multiverse. No. They're not even afraid of a bad multiverse. So you know, like, yeah, the idea of just an Optimus Prime who is every bit Optimus Prime in terms of strength and skill and intelligence, except all of those attributes focused on evil. That to me is my ideal Nemesis
I mean, Evil
Prime.
Clone is good.
Evil Clone is good.
The one I got is, which I think it's Bay. What is it? The Last Night or whatever.
Oh, that one.
The
one's-
brainwashed Optimus Prime. I'm
No,
like, no,
I
that's not
don't-
Nemesis Prime.
I do not. I don't like.
No.
I don't like brainwashed Optimus Prime. I
Brainwashed
do not.
anything is not a new. It's just this person
And
brainwashed.
And I really didn't
Galvatron,
like.
Megatron in different colors is just does not Galvatron make.
Yeah,
Even if he's
exactly.
Galvatron now.
And I didn't like in the Netflix series the idea that that Nemesis Prime was Optimus Prime from the future turned evil. Yeah, you know, I feel like that kind of weakens the character
Angry
that
Viking
he's.
says Nemesis Prime should be female.
That, you know, I'd be okay with a female version of Nemesis Prime. I would.
So we're just taking Alita 1 and putting her in Prime colors.
No. I could see Prime reimagined as a female character and black and teal with red windows and just, you know, feminine.
So
I could
maybe have the cab stick out a little more.
You know, you do like.
Well, wait. So if you still got the truck right in the chest and it's female, would that make these boob windows?
I don't even know where we're going with this. So yeah, those are my favorite ideas for Nemesis Prime. Are they the correct ones? I don't know. So, Nemesis is the Greek goddess of divine judgment. Oh, huh. And here I just thought it meant enemy. Huh. Yeah. So okay, we've learned something. So anyway, if let's see, we covered subscribing to the channel. We covered clicking the notification bell. If you like this review, give it a thumbs up. If you're in a position to help the channel grow, then consider joining our Patreon. We do have different commitment levels with different rewards as our way of saying thank you. Seriously, thank you to all of our patrons. We really appreciate all of your help. And with that being said, I have a special thank you to our patrons from the Transformers Chaos Bringer, Unicron.
Thank you, patrons.
And
okay, that was weird. Thank you, patrons, our ultimate retro heroes. Thank you, Fetchbeer, Rhodes, Matt White, Starhound, Setsune Wave, Dawn, Hope and Michael D, and Colleen. Thank you. Thank No, 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 no! No!
You look delicious.
Unicron eats planets. He does not get eaten by YouTubers.
I think it's totally fair. Turn
So
tables.
here, I'm gonna give that to Monica because.
Nom nom.
So all right, next week. It's been a while, but we are circling back to it. We are talking about Ladybots. It is Ladies' Night Part 6. Yes, we've got Ladybots. So a toast to everyone in the chat, starting with Dawn,
Rob S., who was at Your MamaCon.
Yo Mama Con.
YumaCon is now just going to be forever Your MamaCon. Sorry.
Yep. It happened. Sorry, I didn't make it happen.
Actually,
It
I'm not
just did.
sorry. It's his fault.
And I did kind of make it happen. Hey, toast to Tie Guy.
Hey, toast to Colleen.
Hey, toast to Nate, Connie, Lyric, and Cadence Fillion.
A toast to Angry Vikings.
A toast to Osaka Jack.
Hey. Going great. Hey. Oh, okay, Chinovo, you get the twerk quote toast.
A toast to Perry Viking.
Hey, toast to Daniel Evans.
A toast to the Machiavellic. Wait a minute, wait for it.
How long before we get a copyright strike?
I think that Monica gets all of her sound clips from a royalty-free thing. So I think we can play this for as long as we want, and we're safe until YouTube changes their policy again. All right, so with all of that being said, this is Clay, that's Dawn, and we're telling you to keep it retro. Come on, do it. Keep it retro. Oh, sure, fine. Keep it retro. Bot. B-O-T. It's B-O-T. That's Retrobot.
I just crashed the live stream.
Wow. I guess that did happen, didn't it?
You're welcome, Internet.